So you're thinking about moving to Pleasant Grove, Utah. So in this video, we're gonna cover the good and the bad, the pros and the cons about Pleasant Grove. This way you'll know whether or not it's gonna make the short list. Should you be considering the Pleasant Grove area? Is it a good fit or not? That way, when you give us a call, we can have a more in-depth conversation on the real estate side of it, really narrow down what it is with the home that you're looking for. And if you stick around to the end, then I'll share with you some of the fun facts about the Pleasant Grove area that you don't want to miss. And we're gonna get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel, and if you'd like to know everything there is to know about living in Salt Lake City, Utah, then subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so that you can be the first to know about the current market in Salt Lake City, Utah. My name's Steve Gilbert. I'm with eXp Realty, and my team and I, we get calls and emails every day from people just like you that are looking for help with making their move to the Salt Lake City area. And we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call. You can send us a text, even schedule a Zoom call with us. The information, it'll be in the description below. We'd love to help you make a smooth move to Salt Lake City, Utah, or to Pleasant Grove like we're talking about today. So as I mentioned, we're gonna cover the pros and the cons, the things to consider about the Pleasant Grove area, and we're gonna get after it right now. Okay, so let's get started right now with the pros and the cons. So we're just gonna kind of mix them in together. So first off, let's talk about the feel that Pleasant Grove has. If you enjoy kind of a slower pace, smaller town feel, Pleasant Grove could be a great fit for you. We have a population there of around 39,000 people. And Utah County has really grown in population over the last few years. So, we have a population of close to 700,000 people. But when we compare that to Salt Lake County, which is directly north, then we're over 1.2 million. So we are quite a bit less than Salt Lake County. And so when you leave Salt Lake County, a lot of these other areas, especially in Utah County, you can have that smaller town feel. And because of where Pleasant Grove is located, you do have that feel. And a lot of that has to do with its location up against the mountains. You've got Mount Timpanogos in your background. So when you look at the map, Pleasant Grove has a large area on its east border that borders the Wasatch Front. So you've got a couple of different canyon systems where you can hike up the canyons. You're really at the base of Mount Timpanogos. There's a lot of recreation to do in that area. So a couple different trail systems like that, Grove Canyon Trail. I've never hiked that trail myself. They do actually fly the largest flag that's ever been recorded. It's in the Guinness Book of World Records, but it's a 1/4 acre in size. It weighs 400 pounds, but they actually fly that flag around the 4th of July in that canyon, but you can hike that up and get close to the base of Mount Timpanogos. So I've never hiked that trail, but I have rode my side-by-side going up American Fork Canyon. There's the one of the trailheads on the north side of Mount Timpanogos, and if you drive just past that, it turns into a dirt road, and I've taken that road all the way to the end, which is right at the top of Grove Canyon there in Pleasant Grove. Recreation and outdoor activities right there in your backyard. Because we're away from the freeways, because we're away from major shopping areas, that also contributes to the small town feel. But that can also be one of the cons, is if you like the shopping centers and lots of restaurant options available close by, that may not be as convenient as some of the other locations. So our larger shopping areas are going to be found to our neighbors to the north, like American Fork, which has a really large shopping center. Even though State Street is going to provide your grocery store options, it's going to provide a handful of restaurants along State Street. In Pleasant Grove, you just don't have the large shopping centers. You would have to travel a little outside the borders to find those. In fact, if you want a Walmart Supercenter, you're going to cross the southern border and head over into the Linden area before you find that Walmart. So, but again, it comes back to, if you enjoy a little bit slower pace of life, then Pleasant Grove could be a great option for you. Okay, so one of the cons that could be about the Pleasant Grove area, and this is one of the complaints that I've heard from people that have lived in Pleasant Grove that I've helped move out of there. They've moved to other areas, and that is the commute time from their area, from their home to I-15. So if you watch my map tour where I talked about everything to know about the Pleasant Grove area, you'll basically see that Pleasant Grove is shaped like a pie. And in that pie area, where it narrows down in that triangle, that's where your access to I-15 is. And so people that don't live close to that, live up against the mountain range, man, you've got some incredible views up there, right? I mean, as you get on that bench You get those views of the mountain, you get the views of the valley. However, it's taking you that much further from I-15, and it can take you up to 15 minutes to get from the far east side of Pleasant Grove to I-15, and so it just means it's adding that much further to your commute time. So if you're constantly commuting to I-15, something to be aware of, because it will take additional travel time making your way all the way through town. There's a lot of surface streets. You know, if you're heading down into Orem or into Provo, you do have State Street that you can take down. That can be a quicker route as well. So something to be aware of. Pleasant Grove is located between American Fork Canyon and Provo Canyon. You've got access to all kinds of outdoor recreation right there in your backyard. So Mount Timpanogos, that's the mountain range directly behind the Pleasant Grove area. And so in addition to hiking up those canyons in Pleasant Grove, you've got American Fork Canyon to the north, which is going to give you access to the Tibble Fork area. You've got access to Mount Timpanogos. You know, there's a lot of hiking back there. In fact, hiking Mount Timpanogos, it's a strenuous hike. It's going to take between usually 6 to 8 hours to do a round trip hike, and you do have quite the elevation climb. But that is a trail that the adventurous and usually those who are in a little bit better shape like to go and do, because you can hike to the top of Mount Timpanogos, enjoy some incredible valley views below you to the west, or else you can always look off to the east and see additional Wasatch Mountains in the background back there. So, but that entire system back there behind Mount Timpanogos, you've got Sundance, which is a ski resort. It is a smaller ski resort for this Utah area, but that's your closest resort to the Pleasant Grove and Utah County area. But that's just a scenic, beautiful way to go and drive that alpine loop. That also does tie back into the Heber area. On the south side of Pleasant Grove, you can easily access Provo Canyon. You've got some different waterfalls located up that canyon. It takes you right up to the Heber area. It takes you to the Deer Creek Recreation Reservoir and Lake. Lots of fishing, boating, water skiing. There's a fun water park as far as having bounce houses and you know, those play facilities that they have floating out on the lake. Those are available on the Deer Creek Reservoir. And when you go past that, one of the hot spots for fishing in Utah is going to be Strawberry Reservoir. And anyone that's located close to Provo Canyon, it's going to just put you that much closer to getting access to that area. So Strawberry Reservoir, it's one of the blue ribbon fisheries in Utah. It's got great fishing. You can always catch a good sized fish there, usually a lot of them. My brother, he loves to ice fish up there. And this last winter, there were times that he would go up and in one day they would catch over 100 fish. And so for those who like fishing, that's a great place to go. Plus it's surrounded by the Wasatch Mountains. There's all kinds of beautiful mountain scenery that's easily located near that Provo Canyon area. Something else to consider with the Pleasant Grove area, that's going to be the school ratings. And Pleasant Grove, it is part of the Alpine School District, which is a great district. It's got a lot of great ratings, and most of the ratings are really high for that. So we do have areas that have lower, like the C average rating areas. Those aren't found in Pleasant Grove, which is great. We mainly have B ratings. The high school Pleasant Grove High is a B+, according to niche.com. And so we have good schools there. However, if you want the highest rating schools, if you go a little bit further south into East Orem, you'll find your A ratings there. Or if you go a little further north into the American Fork, Highland, Lehigh area, you're gonna find some more A ratings as well. So if the school ratings are at the top of your list, Pleasant Grove's not gonna be the strongest point. However, they are still good. You know, you can't really go wrong with a B+ rating for a high school. You know, revisiting this smaller town feel that you can get in the Pleasant Grove area. If you enjoy that feel, you know, a lot of people are looking for that. They want a little bit more space between them and their neighbor as well. Pleasant Grove, it does have an average lot size of 0.30 of an acre, which is, you know, just shy of a third of an acre. And so, you know, if that's something that's important to you, if you want a little bit more space between you and your neighbor, want to make sure that, you know, you're not looking through your neighbor's window and he's not looking through yours, you are going to find more options with more space, larger lot sizes in the Pleasant Grove area. And a lot of it has to do with, you know, the age of the community, because we have an average age home in Pleasant Grove of 1986. And it's just typically what we saw. That's what they built back then. A lot of homes on quarter acre, third acres, and some of these areas even half acre lots. But Pleasant Grove does average the 0.30, so more space between you and your neighbor. That is something you can find. And in fact, there's a great chance you'll find options like this in Pleasant Grove. Pleasant Grove has a large section of the Murdoch Canal Trail. So what this is it's about a 16-mile trail system that starts all the way up in Lehigh, which is north of Pleasant Grove. It travels south down through Pleasant Grove into the Provo Canyon area, and it is paved, and because it's paved, it's going to be a little bit easier. So you find a lot of people walking this, running this path. You see a lot of bicyclists on this trail as well. And one nice thing about it is I mentioned earlier, you've got like Grove Canyon, but that's an elevation climb. It's a dirt path. It's a little bit more strenuous. And so if you want something that'll get you outside, that you don't have to worry about the elevation climb, the Murdoch Canal Trail is a great trail system. There's always a lot of people on it. It's a great way to just get out and to enjoy outside. It's got a great feel to it as well. It takes you through some fun different areas. There's some different parks that it will take you through, especially as you hit the northern part of Pleasant Grove. You get close to the Art Dye Park, which is an American Fork. And then as you travel up, there's this fun little private pond, which is on the highland side of it. But that all ties in together. And so it's just a fun trail system that's going to let you explore different parts of northern Utah County. And you don't have to leave Pleasant Grove. You don't have to head up American Fork Canyon or Provo Canyon to get out into the great outdoors. You've got so much right here in your backyard at Pleasant Grove because of those different hiking trails that I've mentioned before. So lots of fun things to do in the Pleasant Grove area. Just a little bit slower pace of life. And if that's what you're after, what you're looking for, this could be a consideration for you to make. So I hope that this pros and cons video has been helpful as far as giving you some different considerations as far as, is this going to make the short list? Is this a city worth considering or not? And so whether you're thinking about making that move in 90s or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, and send us an email. The information, it's in the description below. We'd love to help you make a smooth move to Salt Lake City, Utah, or to Pleasant Grove like we talked about today. And until then, I hope to see you around town.